Welcome back, and thank you for watching Breakfast Television this morning. We are still, Devo Brown, chatting about last night's big win, but a lot of people specifically chatting about the national anthem.
Yeah, so let's step outside of the game, because as we were mentioning earlier, the Four Nations face-off, I mean, what an incredible tournament. We got to see the best of the best, as Frankie has mentioned, from 4 different countries. Unbelievable hockey,
Yes.
right? It was great. But because of all the rhetoric and everything that's been going on in the U.S. and all the conversations, this became bigger than hockey.
Absolutely.
And last night, Chantal Kreviazuk was doing the Canadian national anthem, and the questions were, are they going to, like, is Canada, the Canadians, they're going to boo the anthem for the U.S., or Americans going to boo the Canadian anthem? How's that going to go? Both anthems got booed.
Yes.
And I had some conversations with some people yesterday after the show. I remember we were saying, I'm not a fan of it. I understand why people are booing the anthems. It's not about the anthem itself, it's about the sentiment that is coming from across the border.
Yeah.
You're basically booing President Donald Trump is what you're trying to do. And
Right.
his rhetoric. And that's why people are doing it, and I understand that. It's an immediate, hey, we're not gonna take this from you. We're standing up for ourselves. That's the reason they're doing it. I get that.
Yeah, and at the same time, on the flip side, you've got the faces of, American players who, a lot of them play for Canadian teams, and you're booing them. So
And that's the thing, and everyone I talked to was like, it's not about the players.
Right.
It's more than the game at that point, and that's what it was for Chantal last night. Now, mixed reactions to her sound and her voice of this, but she changed some lyrics up last night and did this intentionally. So she explained that she changed the lyric in all of us command to that only us command in response to President Donald Trump's comments about turning Canada into the 51st state of America. Here's her performance.
Oh, Canada, terre nos arieux, true patriot love that only us command.
And she said it with some emphasis right there.
can we talk about this last night when that happened?
Yeah.
We got on a text chain, and it was with Nick, one of our producers here, and it was like, wait a second, we thought, maybe did she mess up? Because, that happens in a situation like this. There are high nerves.
Yeah.
But then, looked into it further and went, wait a second, this was planned. It was planned for some time.
Yeah, and it was. And this is how we know, because if you look at her Instagram, she posted on there, and she showed a photo of her hand with the words on there. Also her at the game with the, with the flexing of the arm and the Canadian flag, saying that those are the lyrics she was going to do. Now, she put out a statement to the Canadian press about her performance, and she said, my voice probably sounded not as stable. She acknowledged that part. And it was because it made me so emotional. I was singing for our pride, for our honor, our sovereignty, our history, the good, the bad, and the future. The lyric alteration, she said, something that she had thought about as the day went on, and she couldn't shake the thought of. She goes, my philosophy as an artist is to always itch that scratch. It felt like I would have been unsatisfied had I not itched the scratch, so I just stayed with it, and ultimately, it won the moment for me. And I think it did for a lot of Canadians. The point was made, point came across. Canada winning that game 3-2 in overtime, of course. And this is all stemming from this tweet from President Donald Trump, which just irritated so many people.
Yeah, this is prior to the game.
Right, and I mean, I'll summarize it quickly, but he goes, I'll be calling our great American hockey team this morning towards their victory tonight against Canada, which with far lower taxes and much stronger security will someday, maybe soon, become our cherished and very important 51st state. And then he talked about
Goes on
Trudeau and all that and so much more. Look, for someone who has been documented as telling athletes to stay in their lane and not talk about politics or issues and has criticized them for that, why are you involving yourself in politics into sport then?
Yeah.
That's my concern with it. So it became bigger than just a hockey game last night. And you saw from the national anthems to the stuff on there, Prime Minister Trudeau kind of tweeting back to him this morning and saying, this is our game in our country.
Yeah.
A lot.
There's a lot here.
Yeah.
We're going to keep on taking this apart for you this morning. Devo Brown, as always, thank you so much.